Dreams in the dust. In a small sun-scorched village in Pakistan, an elderly man labored tirelessly under the unforgiving sun. His hands, rough and calloused from years of daily wage work, told stories of endless sacrifice. Life had never been easy, yet he carried a dream that burned brighter than any hardship he had faced. That dream was his son. The boy, only 10 years old, had an unusual spark in his eyes. His curiosity, intelligence, and thirst for knowledge were unmatched. Every evening as the village fell silent, the father would sit beside him, handing him a modest meal and whispering words that would shape the boy's destiny. "Son, one day you will rise higher than this village, higher than our struggles. You will study, work hard, and go to America to create a life beyond imagination. But promise me one thing, you must never give up." The boy nodded, feeling a weight of responsibility, but also a surge of determination that would carry him through the toughest storms. He took his father's words to heart. Each coin his father earned from grueling labor went straight to books, notebooks, and school supplies. Every day, the father reminded him, "Knowledge is your only weapon against the world. Fight with it, respect it, protect it." By 5th grade, the boy's dedication bore fruit. He topped his class, leaving teachers astonished at his brilliance. But this was only the beginning. Year after year, from 5th to 10th grade, he became the school's shining star, the epitome of consistency and excellence. His success was not just in grades, but in the discipline, humility, and respect he carried. The father, worn out from physical toil but radiant in spirit, would often sit silently, tears glistening in his eyes, watching his son read late into the night by the dim light of a kerosene lamp. The village people often marveled at the boy's commitment, but no one knew the silent sacrifices behind it. The long walks to school, the lack of modern conveniences, and the nights spent studying while his younger siblings slept. The father's unwavering faith became the boy's anchor. He knew that his success was a tribute to his father's sacrifices, a torch to carry forward, the dreams of a man who had endured everything to give his son a chance. This chapter is a testament to the raw power of dreams nurtured in hardship. It reminds us that every great achievement has humble beginnings. When anchored in love, discipline, and relentless determination, even a boy from a dusty village can hold a universe of possibilities in his hands. The boy was only 10, but the fire in his heart was already unstoppable, a fire that would ignite a journey crossing oceans and continents. And so, under the scorching sun and the gentle whispers of a father's wisdom, the foundation was laid, a foundation built on sacrifice, hope, and the unshakable belief that one day, dreams could be bigger than the world itself. The small kerosene lamp flickered softly in the corner of the modest room, casting gentle shadows on the worn-out walls. The young boy sat at his wooden desk, his eyes glued to the pages of a book, his hands moving swiftly as he scribbled notes. Outside, the village was quiet, the sun having long disappeared behind the dusty mountains. Yet, inside this small room, a fire of determination burned brighter than any light the boy had ever known. His father's words echoed in his mind. "Son, one day you will rise above all of this. You must never give up." Those words were not just advice. They were a promise, a path he had chosen to follow with unwavering commitment. Every coin his father had saved, every drop of sweat he had shed, fueled the boy's dedication. Education was no longer just a subject. It was a bridge to a future that seemed distant but was within his grasp. Day after day, the boy immersed himself in his studies. From mathematics to literature, he absorbed knowledge with a hunger that surpassed his years. The other children played outside in the dusty streets, but he remained under the tree, notebook in hand, battling fatigue and hunger with the same courage he would later display in life. The village school became his arena, and he proved himself time and again, achieving the top rank from 5th grade to 10th. Each achievement was a quiet victory, a testament to the sacrifices his family had made. College brought new challenges. The classrooms were larger, the competition fiercer, but the boy's resolve remained unshaken. Long nights of studying were illuminated by the soft glow of a lamp. His mind sharpened and focused. Professors noticed his diligence, classmates respected his work ethic, and every small success fueled a bigger ambition. He understood that excellence was not an accident. It was the result of relentless effort, discipline, and integrity. His father continued to support him tirelessly, working long hours in the sun, sending whatever he could spare for tuition and books. The boy carried not just his own dreams, but the hopes of his entire family. And as he graduated college with top honors, he realized that every sleepless night, every moment of doubt had led him to this triumph. It was not just a personal victory. It was a beacon of hope, proof that dedication and Perseverance can transform the humblest beginnings into extraordinary success. This chapter reminds us that true achievement is born from unwavering effort and faith in one's potential. The journey of this boy illustrates how focus, discipline, and family support can turn dreams into reality, and how the foundation laid in the quiet corners of a modest room can echo across a lifetime of accomplishment. The airplane touched down smoothly, and the young boy stepped onto the tarmac, his backpack slung over one shoulder and a small suitcase in the other hand. The city skyline stretched high in front of him, gleaming under the morning sunlight. For a moment, he simply stood there, taking it all in: the busy streets, honking cars, people rushing past, and the towering buildings that seemed to scrape the sky. Everything was so different from the dusty village he had left behind. He had dreamt of this day for years, worked tirelessly and sacrificed so much. But now that he was here, the enormity of it all hit him. His father's words echoed in his mind: "Son, one day you will rise above all of this. Never give up." Those words had been his guiding star, and he clutched them in his heart as he took his first steps into a new life. The streets of the city were crowded and fast-paced. He navigated through the waves of people, each face seemingly absorbed in their own story. He marveled at the skyscrapers, the yellow taxis, and the endless movement around him. Everything was both exciting and intimidating. The bright sunlight reflected off glass buildings, casting a warm glow that made the city feel alive and full of possibility. His first days were not easy. He found work in a small office, performing tasks that seemed trivial compared to the dreams he carried. Still, he worked with meticulous care, finishing every task with precision and dedication. The manager noticed his sincerity and hard work, and though the assignments were simple, each completed task strengthened his confidence and commitment. He understood that no step was too small if it led toward a greater goal. Evenings were dedicated to study. In a modest apartment, the boy sat at a wooden desk, poring over books and notes, his lamp flickering softly beside him. The city noises filtered in from the streets outside. But inside, there was focus, determination, and hope. Every page turned, every concept mastered, brought him closer to the future he had envisioned. Looking out of the window at the sunset over the city, he allowed himself a moment to reflect. The journey had just begun, and he knew there would be challenges, moments of doubt and hard nights. Yet his eyes shone with resolve, and his heart held the quiet fire that had carried him from a small village to this vast, bustling city. He was ready to face whatever lay ahead, knowing that perseverance, dedication, and faith would guide him toward his dreams. This chapter illustrates that courage and hard work are the first steps toward any great achievement, and that leaving one's comfort zone is often the path to discovering true potential. Months of quiet dedication and tireless effort began to transform the young man's life in America. What started as humble, often overlooked work, organizing files, delivering messages, and handling minor responsibilities, slowly became the foundation of something far greater. His manager, initially indifferent, began noticing the consistency, honesty, and intelligence reflected in his daily actions. Recognition did not come through luck or shortcuts, but through unwavering integrity. Each task was completed before deadlines. Mistakes were admitted and corrected without excuses, and help was offered to colleagues without expecting praise or reward. While others chased attention, he earned something far more valuable: trust. One day, his manager called him into the office, and his heart raced with uncertainty. But instead of criticism, he was met with a rare smile of approval. The manager acknowledged his dedication, honesty, and intelligence, expressing confidence in his ability to handle responsibilities others could not, and assuring him that he could rise far beyond his current position if he stayed on this path. Those words marked a turning point. The young man felt deep gratitude, not only toward his manager but also toward the lessons his father had taught him: to honor responsibilities no matter how small, and to work with integrity, even when no one was watching. Suddenly, every late night, every silent effort, and every challenge made sense. From that moment, his growth accelerated. Small responsibilities evolved into major projects, and ordinary tasks transformed into leadership opportunities. Colleagues who once overlooked him now sought his guidance, and managers who underestimated him began relying on his judgment. Despite his rising position, he remained humble, approachable, and focused on excellence, never forgetting the sacrifices that brought him there. This chapter reveals a timeless truth: integrity and trust outweigh talent alone. Those who combine hard work with honesty earn not just recognition, but respect, loyalty, and long-term opportunity. His rise was not driven by ego or ambition. but by consistently earning the confidence of those around him. Challenges continued, as the corporate world was competitive and growth was not always welcomed. Yet each obstacle strengthened his resilience. With every promotion, he remembered his father's words and renewed his promise to honor his family. By the end of this chapter, he was no longer just an employee, but an indispensable force within the company, a living example of how perseverance, humility, and integrity can transform a life. Walking through the office corridors with responsibilities that once seemed impossible, he quietly reminded himself that this was only the beginning, and that he would continue rising, not just for himself, but for every sacrifice that shaped him. Years of dedication and unwavering integrity had earned the young man not only recognition, but the complete trust of his manager, a wise and seasoned leader who had witnessed his transformation from a humble worker into a reliable, intelligent, and morally grounded professional. Just when life seemed steady, it prepared a test neither of them could foresee. A rival company, consumed by envy and greed, turned competition into hostility, and one tragic day, the manager was violently attacked, an incident that shook the young man to his core. He admired the manager not only for leadership, but for the kindness, faith, and principles that had guided him through countless struggles. And now, standing helpless before this cruel reality, he felt an even stronger resolve to honor everything he had been taught. In the aftermath, aware of his own mortality, the manager summoned the young man, and the room was filled with a heavy silence that spoke of finality and truth. With trembling hands, he revealed his final will, entrusting the entire company to the young man, not because of bloodline, wealth, or obligation, but because he believed deeply in his loyalty, competence, and unshakable integrity. Shocked and overwhelmed, the young man refused at first, his humility overpowering the moment, insisting that the company was the manager's life's work and that he had merely fulfilled his duty. But the manager, firm and resolute, insisted that faithfulness, honesty, and consistency were rarer than talent, and that his greatest wish was to see his legacy protected by someone who truly valued its principles and people. In that moment, loyalty, responsibility, and destiny converged, and the young man understood that true reward is not driven by ambition, but earned through moral courage and steadfast dedication. Accepting the responsibility was not easy, yet with deep respect and gratitude for the man who had believed in him when no one else had, he agreed. This chapter reflects a timeless truth. Loyalty and integrity open doors that ambition alone never can. While many chase shortcuts and temporary success, it is those who remain honest, patient, and devoted who receive life's greatest trust. From that day forward, he carried the burden of leadership with honor, determined to preserve the values his mentor had built. The company became more than a business. It became a living legacy of fairness, excellence, and ethical leadership. Standing in the office, surrounded by documents, staff, and the echo of a mentor's wisdom, he quietly vowed that he would never betray the trust placed in him, and that through his actions, the legacy entrusted to him would endure. The young man had traveled a long distance from the dusty lanes of his village in Pakistan to the towering skyscrapers of America, rising from a humble worker to the trusted leader of a major company. Through sacrifice, relentless effort, and unwavering integrity, despite his success and growing influence, one truth remained central to his heart. Family was the foundation of everything he had become. He often reflected on long nights spent studying under a dim lamp, the quiet encouragement of his father, the sacrifices his mother made to support him and his sisters, and the silent resilience of his younger siblings, whose faith in him had carried him forward when hope felt distant. With deep gratitude, he invited his parents and sisters to join him in America, knowing that his success would be incomplete unless it was shared with those who shaped his life. When they reunited, emotions overflowed, as parents who once struggled with poverty witnessed the life their son had built, through faith, discipline, and perseverance rather than luck. In their embrace, he realized that his greatest achievement was not wealth or status, but the ability to bring his family security, dignity, and peace. As his personal life flourished, love entered his journey in the form of a woman who admired his humility, strength, and moral depth. Their bond grew from shared values and mutual respect, leading to marriage that symbolized not only love, but the stability and purpose he had worked tirelessly to achieve. As the leader of the company, he upheld the principles passed down by his mentor: honesty, fairness, and trust, earning the respect of employees who saw him as a leader, devoted not only to profit but to people. Under his guidance, the company thrived, becoming a symbol of ethical leadership and opportunity. This chapter reveals the ultimate lesson of his journey. True success is measured not by titles or wealth, but by the lives uplifted and the legacy left behind. His parents lived comfortably. His sisters gained opportunities to grow, and his life became rooted in love, purpose, and integrity. Standing in his office, overlooking a city that once felt overwhelming, he reflected on every hardship and sleepless night that led him here, offering a silent prayer of gratitude to his parents for their sacrifices. The journey that began in a small village with nothing but hope had come full circle, transforming a barefoot boy into a man who inspired others, honored his family, and led with integrity, a living testament to the power of faith, perseverance, and unwavering dedication.